So really, whatever your budget is for it, I can give you about how many videos we could do for that, and then we can find a number that makes sense for you.
Well, okay.
What were you thinking, honestly? Like, what was a picture in your head? You know, you've done TV ads before, obviously, but what was the budget you were thinking going into this?
To be honest with you, I basically did not have so much of a budget. But what I did have in mind is what I could afford.
Yeah.
And not only that, my realistic goals of what I can afford, what I can expect out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, Coach. Because here's the deal. Here's what I see. Okay. So if I could spend, right at $10,000 a year. Okay.
10,000.
But in the process, I don't want to be you got the lowest point. You know what I'm saying? So we only spend 10,000, so you really can't get there.
Right.
I need to be able to, because if I'm spending money and I'm not getting anything from it, I'm gonna get discouraged and I'm not gonna be into it.
And you won't commit long enough to see the results.
And then I'm gonna feel like, well, I didn't really. Then I'm gonna be thinking in my mind as a businessman, how can I cut back? Maybe I need to get my own film. Maybe I need to do this.
Exactly.
So now I'm not selling you something that you said, well, man, I just put, man, I would have went on just put the extra 2 lights in here.
Exactly.
You follow what I'm saying? And because I want some not immediately gratification. I want at the end of the year, I want to be able to say, hey, we're going in the right direction.
Okay. I can guarantee you at the $15K a month price point, the $10K a month price point, by the end of the year, you'll be making that back just on AdSense alone. Not even including all the extra business we're going to get you from more employees and more sales for residential homes. The way you want to position it in the short term, though, is say, okay, you're at $1 million now, which means you're bringing in $100K a month. You're looking to double that. So you're looking to go from $100K to $200K a month. So if our services are able to help you to make an extra $100,000 a month, it would make sense to pay a fraction of that to cover it. Like, we're doing the same thing with the car dealerships we're speaking with now. They're in a similar boat. They make $2,500 in profit per car. And if they want to sell an extra 100 cars through our services, we'll say, okay, if that's our goal, we'll do a fraction of that, but make sure you can handle it month over month because it's a long-term process to ramp up. And if you can, okay, this is the results you'll get. Let's aim to break even in month 2 or 3. Let's aim to be profitable month 4 or 5. Let's aim to be really crazy profitable month 6 to 12. Because it's an investment, right? We're building up a social media following that takes time. But while we're doing that, we're getting new clients, we're getting new employees. That is our main revenue force right now. That's all we want to focus on.
Okay, here's what I talk a lot. Okay, so
that's perfect for videos.
Okay, so I will talk. So and then I wasn't and don't feel sorry for me. But I was never the sharpest knife in the drawer. Okay, I never was the sharpest guy in the classroom. I never was that. But I've been gifted with good common sense, and I've been gifted to try to get a great understanding. Yeah. Now, sometimes you might have to tell me the same thing 2 or 3 times, but I get a good understanding. I can run with it. My point being that they said that with this commitment, the commitment that whatever we decide on or whatever, I'm gonna make the initial
6 to 15 employees. How much profit do you take home per month right now on average? I know it varies.
20%.
20%. Okay, so your goal to hit 200K a month, that would mean you're generating an extra 20K a month take home for you, right? So that means on your end, you could spend up to 20K a month to justify that expense on this. Obviously, you don't want to because you want to scale up and you want to have some.
Let me say this to you. Mm-hmm. I have absolutely no problem at all being able to pay whatever, $15,000 a month or whatever it is, because I believe in sharing the wealth. I don't want you to come in and I'm making all of the money. That's not fair to me. Okay, but what I am looking for somebody to partner with me in the process to believe in what I'm doing, because I believe in myself as well. Now, I don't have no problem, sharing the wealth once it gets to whatever it needs to be. But then this is what I have to do in the initial stage because I'm very familiar with Victory Electric.
Yeah.
I know in the beginning, if I was doing the 10K a month or whatever I was doing, I would have to, I need to first put in something in place so that every week I have that $2,000 every week, like clockwork.
Right.
Because what I don't want to do is upset the apple cart in the sense like, okay, with my business partners, well, not so much my business partners, but I am the owner, but I have my wife and my 2 sons, okay, and I'm writing a $2,000 check from them.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? That potentially could be because they don't see the long-term vision.
Right.
So my biggest thing is 15K a month would be, I know it could do it. I mean, I know what you're saying is not,
it's not out of the realm of possibilities.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely can do that.
But I would have to position myself to withstand that first. You know what I'm saying? I got to position myself to be okay with every week, come what may, we didn't have no viewers this week.
Every day you'll get viewers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
it's the how fast. This is really the only thing we need to worry about in this early stage. How fast can we get more employees and more business through these videos? That's the only thing we will care about right now in this early stage, and then scale up from there. And you have the goal to really scale fast, where you want this to be a 6-7 figure business on its own. You want to end up at the 10 to 15K a month. We don't have to start there. We could get there in month 3 or month 4 after we've already made a bunch of profit. So what number would you feel comfortable with right now to get started with this process, and then we can scale up from there?
Well, obviously my numbers are way off.
Well, we could do half. How does 5K for the first month, scale up from there, and then we might do 5K again, or we might jump up to 10K once we've grown enough profit.
I'm gonna be realistic with you. I mean, I probably would have to do $2,500 a month or something like that.
Okay, so if we did $2,500 a month for the first, let's say, 2 months to ramp up, so $2,500 a month for the first 2 months, and then we can scale it from there depending on how much profit we made. We can make, with that we could do 4 shorts a day and 1 quarter. Okay, so we could do 4 shorts a day at that price point, and one or 2 long forms every other week. So the shorts would be to grow your audience in the short term, right? And then we scale up from there. So what we want to do is this 2,500, let's call it 5K because of the first 2 months. In the first 2 months, we need to make double that in this work we're going to do. So in the first 2 months, your investment at 5K, we need to generate 10K in new clients and employees. So growth in employees and clients. So how much do you generate per house on average? Just throw out a random number.
Probably $1,000.
Okay, so we would need to incorporate 10 new houses, so 5 new houses a month to justify that expense. So about one a week, 1 extra week.
Right.
That's feasible. That's not out of the realm of possibilities.
Right. It's really not. It's not at all out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
It's this thing about it. It's a new bill. Okay, a new. And to be honest, if I really want to increase my sales by an extra 2 or 3%, it's all it would take at this point is me to be in business so long is to follow up with my stuff better, be a better steward of what I'm doing. So that's not a problem. It's just me getting used to having this extra bill.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just me getting used to, okay, now I got, you
got to justify it in your mind. Makes complete sense.
You see what I'm saying? Now, okay, I'm not looking, y'all might send me, some business might come from this, but in my mind it may not, because, that's great if it does.
Right.
But if it doesn't, then I still need to be in position. Right. And I still need to be able to make myself, where I got, because my goal is to scale this thing as fast as possible, as soon as possible to make it work. and not get in the middle of it and then being okay, but then spend X amount of dollars, and then you're like, well, he just didn't finish the course. You see what I'm saying? But I want to be myself. I want to put whatever I can do to be comfortable. And then I put my team in place, and then we can scale up.
Okay, so here's what we should do. Why don't we? Because we'll need to dedicate probably 1 or 2 days a week of filming. Why don't we start off at the $2,500 a month, and we do that for the first 2 months, and then we'll talk about how fast we want to grow from there. Because that will give you enough time to ramp up. You're like, okay, I'm used to filming content every day. I'm used to doing this. I'm starting to see, an extra 1 or 2 homes every week. This is making sense to me. Now let's double down on it.
That's fine.
Okay, so let's do that. And on your end, you said, to increase your sales where you're at now, you just need to do more follow-ups. I would say on your end, just hire a commission-based salesperson. So you only pay them for the deals they get. So you give them your old list of clients, you have them call them every single one, you say, I'll give you 10% of any deal you get. I guarantee you could get 3 to 5 people a day to do that.
Yeah, my biggest problem is my biggest problem is qualified guys that when I got this job that can go in and do what I need to be done. And my team right now we're a little raggedy, to be honest. You follow what I'm saying? We are a little bit irregular because since the pandemic I have not really put a whole lot of emphasis on people as far as that thing. And so we're a little raggedy, and so this is the process that I need to work on to get my team tight, start back having our meetings.
We need a systemized approach for your employees.
Right.
To where the newbies, we can train them fast enough to where it makes sense, and an influx of already seasoned, experienced, ready to go electricians who know exactly what they're doing.
We only to get those numbers right now. All we need is 2. If we got 2 more good journeymen,
2 more journeymen,
and we need about if we got
future. So if you give them that long-term vision, they'll switch off from wherever they're working right now to come work with you because they see where they could go with it. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, Ian. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Am I insulting you with the money I can spend?
I mean, it's going to be a longer-term process with that, but like I said, you're a referral from Kurt. We're looking for long-term people we're going to work with for the long term. We can justify this expense if it's going to be a long-term vision. That's okay. It's a little short on our end, but you got to start somewhere. That's not it. Well, I will never let money limit me from partnerships. Because I see the long-term vision of this.